So currently this is working pretty well, but one of the handicaps, I mean, this is fine, but one of the things that we can do as well is this. So what'll happen is when it gets to a certain size, right now what it's doing is it's always that amount. What would be better is that if we had it so that it would change, right? So maybe when it's large, there's 4 columns coming across here, but then when it's small, like this small, then it will be just 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2, and then the ones underneath. So what we can do is we can actually decide at different sizes how this should look, okay? Now, if we go up to the top here, right now this one is 12, so that's always going to be 12 across. That's not a big deal. This carousel we could actually change a little bit because, you know, when this gets small, I don't really care about it having these gaps. It might as well go all the way to the edges. So let's see if we can fix that. So for the carousel section here, what we're going to do is we are going to add that the offset for the offset 2 should only happen when it's oops, thought I was clicked up here. LG-2. Okay, so what that's going to do is that now the offset is on the large breakpoint. So there are extra small, small, medium, large, and extra large. I think that's all of them. And basically, you can decide what it should look like at those different sizes. So at large, it will offset at 2. Okay, now what we're going to do is this should also be large. So at large, this should also be 8. Now what you're going to see how it's going all the way across? And that's because it's not large. But watch, if I make it big, is this the right one? Yeah. See how now it's offset? And that's because at large, now it's currently large, it's going to offset 2, and this will become 8, okay? But if I make it smaller, that's annoying. If I make it smaller, it will not do that, right? So again, if I go out like this, you got to go certain ways. There you go, see? It'll do that, and then when we get small enough, it will just be the full span. Now, I didn't write that it needs to be at, where are we? Right here. I didn't write that it needs to be at 12 when it's underneath large, right? So let's say medium. What'll happen is, when it gets below the number that you dictate, whatever that number might be, it will become all the way across. So, for instance, if we were to take this and do, let's say, we wanted to make these large, right? So let's do oh no, that's right. Okay, LG-3. Okay, so when it's large, it's going to do that. You're going to see that when it's large, it will snap. Hopefully, come on. It'll snap to this, but when it gets below large, it will automatically go to full 12. That's not what I want it to do. I'm just showing you. What I want it to do is at large be 3, but then I also want to set, come on man, go in there. It's not doing it. Alright, let's just make this big. Oops, that was not the one I wanted. Here we go. Okay. It's just skipping. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so at large, we want it to be 3, but then I also want to set up for what it looks like when it's small. Okay, so we'll do COL dash SM for small dash 6. Oops, with a space. So when it's small, it will be half the width, and then when it's large, it'll be 1/4 of the width, because 3 is 1/4 of 12, and 6 is half of 12. Okay, and I'm just going to grab this chunk here and just copy it, Control C, and we'll just paste it over top of these. Control V, Control V, and Control V. Okay, now I'm going to make this small so you can see, and we will make, let's just pull this guy up. Okay, now watch. So you can see when it's extra small, so this is smaller than small. This is extra small. You'll see they span all the way across, but once I reach small, you'll see now it goes to 2, okay? And then once I reach medium, still is 2. It has to get all the way to large, and then it will be 4, because now each one takes 3 columns at large, and then when you get under large, so large to extra large will be 3, and then when we get underneath that, it'll be 6 from below large to small, but once we get past small and go to extra small, they'll become 1/4, okay? Or they'll become 12, sorry. All right, great. So now we have that set up. That's great. Let's go ahead and set up the last one here. So right now we have these going across the 6, but obviously at small they shouldn't do that. I'm going to set these up just that. I'm going to say medium. Oh, man, get up there. MD. So we're just going to literally add a dash MD. So now up to medium, there'll be 6. They'll be half across. But when they get to above medium, actually medium and above, they'll be half. But once they get below medium, they'll be not that. So you'll see, okay, so they're still there. But watch, when I get to medium, these ones won't change, but this one will. Get to medium here. There you go. So now it's medium. But notice that these are still 4 block because we're not in large yet. And once we get to large, then these go 4 block. But these still stay at 6. They do not go below 6 until it becomes small, which is right here. Okay? So you could set up technically, so you can see I did multiple ones here, right? So I did size for small, and I did a size for large. So you could do a size for extra small, small, medium, large, extra large. You could do all of them if you wanted. But by doing just 2, it's actually doing 3, because when it gets below small, it'll automatically go to 12. So this is almost like having 3. So generally speaking, I would say, do 2. So like I usually do small and large. And I find that that's probably good enough, because small will probably work for a web device or a mobile device, and large will probably work for a desktop, right? So that's kind of what my thinking is, that this will represent mobile and this will represent desktop, and then the extra small is like if it gets really squished. Okay, so that's the idea here. All right. Yeah. So I think that is all I wanted to do. So now we have columns that adjust based on the size of our browser window. So when the browser window is big, they'll be represented, not this way. Gotta go farther. When they're big, they'll be represented this way. When it's when it's small, they'll be represented this way. And then when it's extra small, you're going to see they're just going to stack. Okay? Because they'll all be 12. All right. And that is it. So that's it for this one. And then in the next one, we will start adding, we're just going to preview what you have.